It's really important for growers to monitor their crops. They need to be out in the field monitoring for the presence of rust in a crop. The next important thing is to send a sample in to us here at the University of Sydney Plant Breeding Institute. The key factors in that process are to collect a good sample. So we need probably half a dozen well-infected leaves or stems. That's the first thing. The second thing is to make sure that the sample is put in a paper envelope, not in plastic. If it's put in plastic, the rust is going to die by the time it gets to us. These rusts will survive for 2 to 3 weeks under ambient conditions, so normal post is fine, but they must be sent in paper. So well worth taking advantage of, and we do actually have reply paid envelopes that we can provide to people, so there's not even any cost associated with mailing in a sample. There should be some information that comes with the sample, and that's on the envelope. People can fill that in, for example, GPS coordinates, when it was found, what the variety was. That's very important information. So when we receive the sample, that's entered into our database. We then sent out an email, so please give us an email address. We then sent out an email acknowledging that we've received the sample to the person who sent it in and asking them to confirm that we have the details correct. We then use that sample to inoculate a series of tester wheat varieties in the greenhouse. And the response of those testers tells us what the strain is. So after about 3 weeks, we have a result, and again, that result is emailed back to the person who sent the sample in. So we're monitoring the pathogen, we're monitoring the virulence in the pathogen, we're also monitoring the resistance of the varieties, and that allows us to predict varietal response if we get any change in the pathogens. But we can also then refine the varietal responses by testing in the field, and we do that here at the Plant Breeding Institute, test all of these varieties and breeding lines in the field for their response to these new strains. So if we know what's out there, we can actually try and preempt what's going to happen next with these pathogens, and that allows us then to assist the breeders with the direction of their breeding program so that we can keep one step ahead.